My scientist is Carmen Zorrilla. According to the article Perspective in the Time of Fear, Dr. Carmen D. Zorrilla is a professor of obstetrics and gynecology at the University of Puerto Rico School of Medicine and is certified by the American Board of Obstetrics and Gynecology. They became involved in gynecology and HIV prevention when they had a challenging time in their life. And I quote, "I was pregnant at the time and I was giving other pregnant women their HIV test results." She also felt moved that many women who were supposed to receive care from their families, but nobody wanted to visit them because of HIV. She felt really responsible for them. This is important because this became the turning point in her life, where she grew to be more passionate about HIV and gynecology. After looking through her Facebook page, some of Dr. Zorrilla's hobbies are photography. I see a lot of pictures of scenery being posted on her Facebook page, as well as pictures of rainbows. And this slide is an example of a picture of a rainbow that I found on her Facebook page. One thing that I really admire about Dr. Zorrilla is that she isn't afraid to back down from helping people who are in a dire situation. And it doesn't mean that's necessarily her job, but she goes above and beyond for her patients and her job of being a gynecologist. I also really identify with her because she identifies as a woman, especially in a STEM field of biology. This means that I can relate to her struggles of navigating the field of medicine as a woman. My scientist is in the field of biology, specifically the field of medicine, and even in depth, the field of obstetrics and gynecology. Some specific question that Dr. Zorrilla focused on is how the Zika virus that is widespread in the equatorial regions of the world, especially in Central America, affects the pregnant population. She also has a small clinic called Maternal and Infant Studies Center, where she enrolls pregnant women in drug trials that reduces the transmission of HIV from the mother to the child. And this is one of the main projects that she hopes to work on, especially pertaining to the drug ZDV. This is especially important because this allowed her to further understand how certain drugs and diseases affect pregnant people, and how the transfer of diseases affect the prenatal environment. The recent primary literature that my scientist worked on is the use of ethical estradiol and estrogenial vaginal ring and vaginal microbial communities in women with HIV. The experiments that were performed in the paper are vaginal microbes were assessed through the vaginal swabs and their nucleus was assessed through the technique of mass spectroscopy, which is common in chemistry. The findings displayed in this figure are that the intravaginal rings that were placed in week 0 are then measured in week 3 through the vaginal shedding of HIV. 1. My scientists uncovered that HIV communities on vaginal bacteria. The next step is that this endeavor is to uncover the nature of transmission of HIV from a mother to a child. It's also important that the next step of my biologist research the effects of trans men and how they differ in the effects of HIV. In conclusion, today we discussed the origins of my scientist and the major research that Carmen was involved in. For example, the vaginal HIV bacteria transmittance. We also discussed some of her hobbies, interests. Thank you so much for watching the video.